Video games are a great escape from the real world. When I play them, when I feel like I need a break from the struggles of the real world. RPGs or role-playing games allow for me to play as someone different, or even what I truly, my true self. They can let me live in a world where any number of things are possible and give me a feeling of freedom. RPG stands for role-playing game. A role-playing game is a game in which you play as a character which is either already picked by the game or you can pick or create yourself. With this character, you are usually able to make your own choices throughout the game world. Sometimes choices are made for you by the game because there are many different types of RPG games that sometimes don't allow for you to make that many choices. Fallout 4 is an open world RPG where you play as a male or female character who has a son. After going into a vault to protect yourself from the bombs that comes down in Pennsylvania, your son is kidnapped when you wake up for a short little bit because you were put in a cryo sleep type thing, which was the vault's sort of experiment. So your son is kidnapped when you wake up for a short bit, and the character that you didn't pick, so if you picked a male character, then it would be the female character, the mother, and she is killed, or he is killed. I like Fallout 4 for many reasons than I like other games. Its gameplay runs smooth on my computer, and glitches are hardly seen, but can happen. It's obviously like just update every once in a while. But the game was made, I think it was published in like 2016 or something. So it's a little bit old. The main story is not that good, and Fallout 4 tells a better story with the places you go. So you'll be able to go on terminals, or you'll be able to read notes, or you'll even just be able to like look at things and see, well, like how it fits in with the story that, the thing that happened here. So that's kind of interesting to look at. So in general, the main story is not good. You are able to go around and explore the history about, whatever you see. Quests or missions. The quests or missions are okay. There are certain quests that are boring or bad. There are certain quests that are great and interesting. And quests that are in the middle, where they're just like kind of meh. Some quests are just about going and killing a raider outpost, or going and taking out some place where there's a bunch of synths. It's usually like with action or something, and the gunplay is a big element of the game. You can use a VAT system. I mean, it's basically essential to Fallout as it is, like, as the type of game it is. Usually though, when they are still fun. You get to play around with different guns. You get to play around with chems, and you get to loot the bodies of them. There's still something good about these like action missions, or just, shooting galleries, as sometimes they're called. Gunplay. The guns and other weapons work and play great in this game. Same for a satisfying experience when you get critical hits that kill an enemy in one hit, or hits that blow up an enemy's body part, which is usually very satisfying. It just, and what's not satisfying about it? And there's, many different types of guns, heavy weapons, automatic pistols. There's a whole gallery of guns. Progression. There isn't really progression in Fallout 4, though you can mod weapons and get legendary weapons with special bonuses, but not lots of people explore modding or even look far enough to get a good legendary weapon. Armor in this game is really not that important. It's a role-playing game, so you can put on a dress and be okay in a fight against raiders. Because you always have, like, chems and stuff, and the amount of stim packs you are given in this game is pretty insane. So you usually never run out of stuff. I never have. I usually only play on normal mode. There is power armor, which allows for more defense but takes a power system called fusion cores. Basically, you just get more defense, better armor. There's a VAT system in Fallout 4, which allows for you to basically stop time and select a body part or even a gun, and you can shoot it or hit it with a melee weapon. And the melee weapons in this game, there's a lot of melee weapons. There's legendary ones. You can mod the melee weapons as well as the guns. So with the VAT system, there's like a % chance to hit something. So the further away you are, the distance gets worse pretty much. And when you're closer, it's better to hit something. There's a settlement system where you can create different housing units, shares. There's a bunch of different stuff you can create with it. And the main goal of it is to set it up for your Minutemen. They're like Minutemen settlements, basically, where people can come and they are now a part of the Minutemen when they come, and they just work for you. They can get food, they can be a trader. They have a lot of different jobs and things that they can do. And it's a pretty cool system. Choice. In Fallout 4, the game limits your choices. But I also like it for that reason, because when there's a game that gives you too much choice, you usually feel overwhelmed and don't know what way you would like to move on in the game. So it kind of discourages you from even playing the game. Sometimes Fallout 4 allows you to have more choice, but not all the time. Loot. The loot in this game is insane. There's so much of it around. I end up becoming a hoarder, picking up pretty much everything and just giving it to my companion because I have way too much of it. And the reason I pick so much of it up is so I can put it in. You can just basically have infinite storage, because you can just put all your stuff in a storage in your where your settlement is. You can put in the workshop, or you can put in any type of crate, and the stuff will never disappear, and you have endless amounts of the stuff. And the stuff is useful because it will have like a certain thing you need, like crystal, or you need a circuit board or something. And when you scrap the object, it will give you that. Usually though, I pick up what's useful in the locations, but when I loot a body, I usually pick up everything. Overall, I like Fallout 4. Though I have never finished the story, I can say it's a great game. And it's honest, I've never finished the story because of all the side content and everything else, and because I honestly just end up wanting to make a new story every time I start up the game again. For those who are wondering who I'm actually roleplaying as, I decided to roleplay as a bit of a Walter White looking character, and of course not everything works, but it pretty much looks like Walter White, and I'm glad I was able to do that and kind of just roleplay as him, and even roleplay. It's kind of like just myself. The Wild West. This is a game that is on Roblox for free, and it still is fun. There's tons of fun games on Roblox. Many of them are free. It's fun and enjoyable, and it is multiplayer. It is an old Western game where you can hunt, mine, catch outlaws and criminals, or be an outlaw and criminal yourself. You can rob a train, you can rob a bank, you can rob other people, you can cut down trees and sell wood. So this game has a good lot. It is an open world RPG set in old Western times and is multiplayer. It's not like an MMO, but it is multiplayer. You can ride different horses and you can even ride on trains. There's a different selection of guns. There's rifles and revolvers, and each one of the weapons has its own pros and cons. Like one might be better for hunting, and another one might be more for PvP, player versus player. You can lasso people, so you can steal their money when you actually get them lassoed, or you can do something else, such as killing them or interrogating them for some reason. I like that you can roleplay as really anyone you want. It's kind of fun. The game is sometimes annoying since you might just get killed by an outlaw or a wanted person for no reason if you weren't messing with them. Even if you weren't messing with them, like really, they just kill you because I mean, I probably would because like I don't want to actually have to deal with that much because I have to like worry about someone else being there because maybe they might actually kill me. So it's kind of a kill or be killed type thing. But the nice thing about being able to really like kill people without consequences out of the game is that there are no out of the game consequences or situations for getting banned. Like if obviously if you're hacking and you're taking out killing people, then you'll get banned most likely. So it really means you can be whoever you want to be, even if that is like a murderous killer. Now I'm sure there's some like thing if you were just like insane at taking a bunch of people out and you're taking so many people out and they couldn't do anything about it, that would be like a thing to where you would get kicked from the server, warned, or even banned. It's just a great game. It allows you to. It's just fun playing an old western type game. There's similar games to it. There's like Red Dead Redemption 2. There's also Red Dead Redemption Online. And other RPG games. There's Fallout New Vegas, which kind of was one of my favorite Fallout games for a while, but ended up not being one of my favorites just because I think just Fallout 4 is better. And now that I have it on my PC, it's just fun. I did have it on my PS4 and I still have it, but I like playing it more on my PC just because I'm just right near everything, right in my room, and I like the controls better. It's much easier to do things. And then other games, there's Knights of the Old Republic. There are MMORPGs, mean massively multiplayer online games like RuneScape or World of Warcraft or Knights of the Old Republic. Open world RPGs like Fallout 4 and many others. Some of my favorite RPGs are Fallout 4, Borderlands 2, Fallout Vegas, Batman Arkham Knight, Terraria, and Minecraft. So in general, RPG games allow for you to be who you want to be, even when the world doesn't always allow for it.